Hello, I'm Kimberly Acosta. Welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on Friday, December 18th. Many of the stories you hear here can be found at our website, IndianCountryNews.com, or you can check out IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Evangelist Oral Roberts, founder of the Oral Roberts Evangelistic Association and Oral Roberts University, passed away on December 15th from complications of pneumonia. A memorial service will be held on Monday, December 21st at the Mobby Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The service will be broadcast live online beginning at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oral Roberts rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most influential Christian leaders of the 20th century. Before his life ended, he had written more than 120 books, pioneered American television evangelism, bolstered belief in divine healing, and founded his Oral Roberts University, which is one of the nation's leading Pentecostal colleges. Before his death, Roberts said, "After I'm gone, others will have to judge how well I've obeyed God's command, not to be an echo, but to be a voice like Jesus," the statement said. "As far as my own conviction is concerned, I've tried to be the voice with every fiber of my being, regardless of the cost." In an emotional appeal to the people of the Pine Ridge Reservation, Oglala Sioux President Teresa Toobles declared a state of emergency in the face of an overwhelming numbers of suicides and suicide attempts on South Dakota's largest reservation. Toobles said between October of 2008 and August of 2009, since September, there has been a rash of teen suicides on Pine Ridge. And during November, the Oglala Sioux Ambulance Service responded to 17 suicide-related calls. Specifics about Oglala Sioux's suicide prevention plans haven't been revealed yet, except that Toobles mandated that Indian Health Service and all Oglala Sioux programs assist the Sweetgrass Project, the tribe's suicide prevention program, to the fullest extent of their services. She also called for schools and youth centers on the reservation to develop an action plan to keep gymnasiums and recreation centers open and available to youth on weekends and other down times. Taylor Matt, a senior at Casanova High School, is battling a resurgence of leukemia. Taylor was 11 years old when she was first diagnosed with the disease, and in August, the 17-year-old learned the cancer was back. She has spent the last 4 months at Upstate University Hospital receiving aggressive chemotherapy and waiting for a bone marrow transplant. On December 21st, supporters will hold a bone marrow registration drive and a benefit lacrosse clinic from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Sports Center, 481 on Colomar Road in East Syracuse, New York. The William Pomeroy Foundation will process donors from Be the Match Registry, while players work with coaches from the University of Florida, Princeton, and Dartmouth. Finding a donor has been more difficult for Matt because she is part Native American. While the Be the Match Registry has more than 7 million samples, the list contains only 80,000 donors who identify as Native or American Indian. As a result, more than 80% of Native Americans do not receive bone marrow transplants within the first 6 months of diagnosis. On December 7th, CanDo.org launched the Ride for Lights campaign to raise awareness and funds needed to put an end to the abuse and human rights violations taking place today on the Crow Creek Reservation. So for the 13 days between December 13th through the 26th, Eric Klein of CanDo.org has been and will continue riding 330 miles on horseback alongside others in the Mankato Reconciliation Ride that honors the 38 people who were killed in the largest mass execution in the history of the United States on December 26, 1862, in Mankato, Minnesota. On that day, 38 Dakota men were marched in single file to a scaffold guarded by 1,400 troops in full battle dress. The pull of a single lever ended the lives of 38 Dakota men. In addition to the mass execution, 265 Dakota men were sent to prison near Davenport, Iowa, while 1,300 Dakota men, women, and children were exiled to a concentration camp known today as the Crow Creek Reservation in South Dakota. The goal of the CanDo's Ride for Light campaign is to establish a fund to ensure that no one on the Crow Creek Reservation goes without power this winter. This event is currently being broadcast live via virtualvolunteer.tv. New York Yankees pitcher Joba Chamberlain made a surprise visit today to St. Augustine Mission School in Winnebago, Nebraska, passing out Christmas gifts and playing catch with some of the students. Chamberlain, a former Nebraska baseball All-American and now a World Series champion, is an enrolled member of the Winnebago tribe. His father, Harlan, was reared on the Northeast Nebraska Reservation. The children of Chamberlain's first cousin are among the kindergarten through 8th graders who attended St. Augustine. "My family's here, my heart is here," Chamberlain told the students. And that's the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.